Obviously, I didn't see everything that went on in Pittsburgh, but when that crowd makes an accusation, it's always a confession. When they say you're being disingenuous, it's a confession that they are being disingenuous. When they say you're only after the money, it's a confession that they are only after the money. I don't know really what all happened. There's a few things I know. I know that an Attica State prison psychiatrist living in the boondocks of Pittsburgh, an Attica State prison psychiatrist was my neighbor and took control of my early adolescent education. He was a Zionist. He forced me into sexual services. He poisoned me with a nerve agent. He played fast and loose with the storylines that Venus Gabriel recycled. And I know that John Schulman was living on Celeron Street when Andrea Swimmer and Jaime Carbonell made the Carrot Tape. Celeron, like celery, Celeron Street and Carrot Tape. And that it was all enriched with a lampoon about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and so on. Basically, Pittsburgh are a bunch of hot wiring car thieves who can't get enough of violating the rights of someone else. If you look at their saints, like Christopher Hedges, he lasciviously laments what he calls people's sexual decadence. That by having a girlfriend, you are using one another. I mean, it's cross-burning parochialism. And he doesn't care at all that armed men trafficked grade school children who were deafened with nerve agents. He doesn't care at all. He thinks that he is God's truth because he went to South America, Central America during Reagan's horrific adventures in El Salvador. I know that I didn't. I was a person who was deaf, barely able to get by, who wanted to know what was going on. I was a person at risk. It's seedy disingenuity to say I should have been a nurse. I'm deaf. To say I should have been President of the United States. I'm deaf. To say that I should have known better than to try to save Shannon Harps. Anytime I know that somebody's in danger, I try to help them. And they have these weird cock and bull stories that they ladle out and lavish on and butter up, and it gets and impregnate. Their idea of sexual morality is to rape a deaf girl, to rip or murder an innocent bystander, to play pussy ball with high-end hookers. This is their idea of sexual morality. That's what they're defending instead of what they lasciviously lament as the decadent youth. I mean, I've been alone for 35 years, and they continue to bang on, oh, he uses us for the pussy. While they're firing attack prostitutes at me on juvenile condition, giving me nowhere else to go for a roof over my head but a woman's bedroom. And she opens the door. She spreads her legs, and that's all my fault. When they hired her to do it, that's all my fault. She says, I love you, and I kiss her. That's all my fault. This is their spinner beanie on high. They lure me here, okay? It's the ick red line, right? You were ick. You said ick, so you got given Parkinson's and dragged through glass and subjected to 2 years of homelessness. And they blessed the deaf girl who they raped because you said ick. They blessed her on behalf of Will Zellbrum, who was talking about AIDS before it happened. What did I do wrong by trying to prove that again? What did I do wrong by trying to protect my peers from him again? What did I do wrong by reporting that to the police again? Well, what I did wrong was I was fake rather than loyal. And there's no alternative to being fake or loyal. You're either fake or you're loyal. So Shannon Harps was either fake or loyal. Draw a straw. She said ick. And this was all scripted. They knew the whole script. Any of them could have intervened, could have said, wait a minute, he's trying to reduce the number of casualties by warning. They didn't want to reduce the number of casualties by warning. They wanted to build momentum by casualties. They wanted more genocide. They wanted the Palestinian intellectuals to say, no, we were right to go along with Netanyahu the first time. No. Instead of trying to save lives, they came up with the wonder machine of one size fits all, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That's what their platform. When they rigged up their showpiece, which was Yoko Ono whisper campaigns, smear campaigns about little Jimmy. And she had direct access to the Attica State Prison psychiatrist. She knew the woman who had written the script. They made no secret of the fact that it was cold-blooded revenge against America over Hiroshima. And they brought in resenters. The black man, in his pride, Texas pride for America, sided with Tojo, who attacked America on Pearl Harbor Day. And that was an honorary, Tojo was an honorary the Black Panther, and he in the German Green Party, believe it or not, were peddling ancestor symbols, not swastikas. That's what swastikas are. So, I mean, it's like that skit, if she weighs the same as a duck, she's made out of wood, and therefore she's a witch. If you side with Zell, you're an honorary member of the JDL being led by Joseph Goebbels, and therefore an honorary the African ancestor. And they put this together because their Hollywood network says, think what we can do with the underworld dream of Jimmy being seduced by a girl from India. That's how pathological they are. A one-night stand when I was 26 years old with a girl from India that she initiated has them ripper murdering people in Seattle 30 years later. They scream torrentially, this is our art, this is our art. We must have Satisfied.